The U.S. President Donald Trump is leaving early, heading home tonight. Let's bring in Karina Roman. She's live at the Media Center in Banff. And Karina, let's start with that. The U.S. President going home. I assume this took people by surprise. Do we know anything more?
Oh, very much by surprise. This was definitely not in the plans. What we do glean from a statement from the White House press secretary, Carolyn Leavitt, is that he's not leaving in anger, that this is not a repeat of what happened in 2018. So the statement says, President Trump had a great day at the G7, even signing a major trade deal with the United Kingdom and Prime Minister Keir Starmer. Much was accomplished, but because of what's going on in the Middle East, President Trump will be leaving tonight after dinner with heads of state. So this is the statement that's just crossed, I believe, social media is where we first saw it. And of course, we are pressing the Prime Minister's office for a response. And yet we have not heard back of what the host, the Prime Minister, thinks of this or makes of this or thinks the impact will be. I will point out that tomorrow was supposed to be the big discussions about Ukraine with the Ukrainian president. Obviously, now with Donald Trump not being there, that may change the tone, the flavor, the outcome. It's hard to tell, but this is definitely not a development people expected.
I suppose the one thing recent history tells us that if Donald Trump was unhappy, we'd know about it by now. They would not hesitate to make that public. Okay, speaking of trade deals, what's the latest on talks with Canada?
So we did get a development there, that's for sure. Canada and the U.S. have agreed to a timeline to get a deal within 30 days. And this was also a late day revelation from the Prime Minister's office in a readout, as we call them, from the Prime Minister's office about the meeting. And I can read part of it to you. It says Prime Minister Carney and President Trump discussed immediate trade pressures and priorities for each country's workers and businesses and shared updates on key issues raised in negotiations on a new economic and security relationship between Canada and the U.S. And then here's the key part. To that end, the leaders agreed to pursue negotiations toward a deal within the coming 30 days. And when we asked for clarification of, are we talking about how they'll start within 30 days, or would they actually want to deal within 30 days? We were told that the goal is to have a deal within 30 days. And as I said, this was a late day revelation as well. There was not a hint that this specific timeline was coming, but certainly it is a development that I guess for some, especially those businesses and workers mentioned in that readout who are suffering right now under enormous tariffs, this might be welcome news that there is a pinpoint that they're working towards.